Hey, so is now a good time to sell? I get asked this question all the time, and honestly, I personally feel like it's the wrong question. The right question, or the better question to ask, is now the right time for you? So in this video, I want to walk you through how to think about timing when you're downsizing. And really, this can apply to anybody because it's not just about interest rates. It's not just about market conditions. It's about your life. So before we get too deep, my name is Shannon and I'm a realtor. And these are the conversations that I have with my mom when she asks me these questions about the market, because I want to make sure that she's getting good information. And there's so much out here that you can get muddled in. So make sure you keep watching if you want some good information to help you make this decision with timing and downsizing. Okay. So when we're talking downsizing and when we're talking timing, some people are talking about the timing of the market. They're usually thinking about things like home prices high, are interest rates low? Is it a seller's market or is it a buyer's market? And look, these things matter. Okay. They're important. When you're downsizing after many years in your home, likely point where you've built up a significant amount of equity, and that changes the equation. This move isn't purely financial, okay? It's personal. That's why I want to separate the two types of timing. So you have market timing and you have life timing. Most downsizers, life timing is what matters more. It's just true. Different type of circumstance for you. So what does the right life timing look like? I'm happy you asked. Be mindful, it looks different for everyone, but this is just some things that I've noticed. These are some clear signs that I've seen. It's time to seriously consider making the move. That feels big. When everybody's gone and you're maintaining a 4-bedroom home with 2 people or even just yourself, the space that once felt full can start to feel like a burden, right? If you're paying to heat, cool, clean, and maintain space that you don't use, that could signal, right? The upkeep is getting a little more challenging. I don't even want to do it here, okay? Maybe the work has gotten a little harder. Maybe you still like it, but it's just more of it, right? Anymore, it's just the amount of yard work. Maybe the stairs are more of a concern than what they used to be, right? Maybe you start putting off some repair to the home because it's just not something you think about doing right now. It just feels like it's too much. These are some things that your home is telling you. This is your home telling you, hey, your financials are shifting. Retirement is income. For a large portion of your wealth, it might be built or tied up into home equity, and you might benefit from freeing some of that up. Now, so we're clear, I'm not a CPA or an attorney. I don't do that type of work, but these are things that it'll tell you, supplemental retirement. You might want to pull it to help your family or simply just reduce the cost of living because it's an important factor. And right now it's high. You find yourself of being somewhere else. Maybe you want to be closer to blank. You might have been about getting a smaller place at a different place. And something that's a less to worry about. When someday starts to feel more urgent, someday feels like now, you know what I mean? This is what you're paying attention to. And this is a sign that maybe it is time to downsize. So now, I don't want you to completely dismiss the market conditions. They're worth understanding. So if you've owned your home for a long time, chances are you have substantial equity regardless of what the market is doing, right? A strong seller's market means more buyers competing for your home. But it also means that the next home could cost more. So it then balances out. What I tell my clients, the market is always going to be doing something. There will always be reason to wait. There's always reason to move now. What rarely changes the value of moving on your own terms. You want to make sure that you're doing this because this is what you're ready to do, not because you're being or forced to do it. Okay. That said, if you're curious about what your home might be doing in today's dark market, feel free to reach out to me. I'm happy to have the conversation with you, to be a resource, help you understanding what your market is doing, to make sure that you know the best place to start and to kind of give you some knowledge so that you can take the guesswork out of it without a lot of pressure. So timing is personal, okay? No matter what, timing is always going to be personal. It's a combination of where your life is, what your finances look, and yes, what the market's doing. But in my experience, people who wait for the perfect moment to do anything often do nothing, or they end up waiting longer than they need to. If the signs that I described to you resonate with you, if that's something where you're like, you know what, Shannon, yeah, I do feel that. If any of them felt familiar, it may be worth I'm happy to answer any questions that you have. In the next video, and you know this is a series, so this is video. In the next video, I'm going to tackle one of the most common questions that I hear from downsizers, which is, should you sell your current home before you buy your next one? Okay, it's more nuanced than you think, but it's not as bad as you think. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss it. Thank you so much for your time, and you have a phenomenal day.